Good evening and welcome to St. George News at 8. I'm Scott Beadle. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints announced Thursday it will be dropping its participation in Boy Scouts of America programs for older teens starting next year. Specifically, the church will be dropping the varsity and venturing scouting programs that cater to teenage boys between 14 and 18. Church officials said in a Q&A posted on the church's newsroom website that the decision to end the scouting programs was not due to the BSA's opening up to gay and transgender scouts and leaders. Instead, those programs just haven't served the church young men well, church officials said, and they haven't been the easiest programs to run locally. The change takes effect January 1st and only affects LDS church congregations in the U.S. and Canada. 2 Utah men were arrested during a traffic stop in Kentucky Tuesday after police seized 33 pounds of heroin. It's worth a reported $1.5 million. Monday, troopers stopped a semi-truck on Interstate 24 in Lyon County, Kentucky for commercial vehicle inspection purposes. Police identified the driver as 29-year-old Roberto Orozco of West Valley City. The passenger was identified as 50-year-old Alberto Leal Martinez of Magna. During the stop, Kentucky troopers located a small amount of heroin. A subsequent search of the vehicle led to the discovery of 33 pounds of heroin. Orozco and Leal Martinez face charges of aggravated heroin trafficking. Delegates heading to the northern Utah for the state's GOP reorganizing convention will get to consider if the party should support the use of medical cannabis. Opening with a statement that Utah has the 7th highest opiate overdose death rate in the nation, the resolution, if passed, would signify the Utah Republican Party supports the rights of an individual to use medical cannabis as treatment for a diagnosed condition when properly directed by a physician. The resolution states that medical cannabis is supported by a majority of Utah residents and also makes note of a resolution passed by the legislature encouraging Congress to reclassify marijuana, which would allow more research to be done on the drug's potential medical benefits. A man was rescued Tuesday night after hikers heard him yelling for help from a precarious perch on a cliff several hundred feet above the Weeping Rock Trail in Zion National Park. Park dispatch received a report of a person stuck on a cliff around 2:30 p.m. A man in his 20s went off the trail at Observation Point. The man had attempted to scramble down from Observation Point, but he became cliffed out, meaning he could not climb up or down. The incident was reported by hikers on the Weeping Rock Trail who heard him yelling and alerted a park shuttle driver. Rescuers soon responded. Washington City adopts a preliminary $55.4 million city budget by the City Council Wednesday. The proposed budget for fiscal year 2018 highlights a number of expenditures from public safety and capital projects to funding the road projects. The city's general fund portion of the budget is anticipated to be $15.8 million, a 1.8% gain over the previous year's budget. No new taxes are introduced in the budget. Some capital projects of note the city hopes to either fund or continue funding are the reconstruction of the Veterans Park restrooms and pavilion and the construction of a park and trailhead around the Warm Springs Pond, also known as the Boilers. The Senate is hearing from the new acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe, stepping in for his former boss James Comey, as new details on his dismissal continue to emerge. Lana Zach is at the Capitol with the latest.
Testifying in front of Congress today, Andrew McCabe, the acting director of the FBI. McCabe is occupying the seat that earlier this week was supposed to belong to James Comey.
Has the dismissal of Mr. Comey in any way impeded any of the work at the Federal Bureau of Investigations?
There has been no effort to impede our investigation to date. Quite simply put, sir, you cannot stop the men and women of the FBI from doing the right thing, protecting the American people, and upholding the Constitution.
And now, new details about how the Comey firing came about are prompting even more questions. Initially, the White House said that Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's memo to the president was the impetus for the firing, and that the president did not direct him to write it.
So the White House had no involvement in this decision to write this letter by the Deputy Attorney General.
That's correct.
But it turns out it was the president himself who said he wanted to fire Comey and asked Rosenstein and Attorney General Jeff Sessions to write those memos. Sources tell ABC News Rosenstein was so upset with the White House for pinning the Comey firing on him, he was on the verge of resigning. Today, the White House tried to explain that seeming contradiction.
He did not direct him to write the context of the memo. The Deputy Attorney General, along with many others, felt like Director Comey was not the person that should be running the FBI at this point.
And for James Comey, how his dismissal came about makes little difference to the outcome, as he explained in a letter to his staff and friends, writing, "I'm not going to spend time on the decision or the way it was executed. I hope you won't either. It is done."
Chris has your Southern Utah forecast next.
The weather tonight is brought to you by Experamac. Experience Mac computers in a new way.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening to you. You want to take a look at our viewer photos sent in to us through the actual kcsg.com website from Nick. And Nick sent this photo in to us. We appreciate that. Any photos you want to share across Southern Utah, we'd love to share them here on the news as well. But some beautiful clouds out there and actually some beautiful sunshine, too, across Southern Utah late this afternoon as high temperatures made it back into the upper 70s to low 80s in most areas. But you're going to notice some wind around for your Friday. A wind advisory goes in effect for much of the area. Again, most of the areas from about Cedar City up to the north and west through parts of western Utah, also covering a good portion of Nevada as well. Could see wind gusts on your Friday as high as 50 miles per hour, so definitely need to hang on to that steering wheel if you're heading outdoors over the next 24 hours or so. We'll keep those winds around and some warm temperatures in the forecast too as you get to the end of our work week. Here's your highs from today: 82 degrees in St. George, 83 degrees in Hurricane, 75 in Cedar City, and 78 degrees in Enterprise. We look to our south and west, though, parts of southern Nevada, Mesquite, and Las Vegas, close to 90. And that's some of that warmer weather that's going to come with those winds tomorrow out of the southwest, as high as 50 miles per hour. Before tonight, 48 in Cedar City with mainly clear skies. Everyone else should be in the low 60s by tomorrow morning, but again, mainly clear skies and winds not too bad tonight. East-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Friday around Cedar City, temperatures back to mid-70s. We'll go over a high of 76 degrees, but by the afternoon, those winds south-southwest at 25. But again, could see gusts as high as 50 miles per hour in some areas. And in St. George itself, then we'll see temperatures getting close to 87 by the afternoon hours. Again, lots of sunshine for our Friday. Again, southwest winds at 18. We could see those gusts as high as 30 to 35 here in southern Utah. So very windy, very warm too, with mostly sunny skies as we end our work week. As we get into the weekend, then still stays dry, pretty warm. Temperatures low 80s or so. It looks like Mother's Day looking very nice on Sunday with plenty of sunshine out there, and then more sunshine through the early parts of next week. But by the middle part, could see a few isolated showers or thunderstorms back into our area. Now, surface map for your Friday. Again, showing those breezy conditions making their way back into our area here. Very warm weather just down to our south as well through parts of Arizona, seeing those warm temperatures. That eventually will get in here by the afternoon hours, putting our highs close to 90 in some areas. Before tomorrow, we'll see the hometown temperatures falling back into the mid-70s around Cedar City, Newcastle, Enterprise, close to 80 degrees by the afternoon hours. Lots of sunshine, but again, a wind advisory in effect just to the north and west of our area here, with those winds gusting as high as 50 miles per hour. Around St. George and southern Utah, then temperatures close to the upper 80s. Hurricane at 88. 87 degrees of high temperature St. George. Again, we'll see temperatures in the low 90s from Mesquite to Littlefield at 93 degrees, sunshine and warm weather, and those winds gusty out of the north or out of the southwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. But again, gusty winds even higher than that. A little bit cooler for the weekend, but still not bad in Cedar City. 7-day forecast, low 70s, a low to mid 60s return by early next week. There's that shower chance by Wednesday, and by then in Cedar City could see temperatures in the 50s. But around St. George, again, we'll see temperatures close to 90 by the time we get to Friday, and then back into the low 80s for the weekend. Lots of sunshine expected through Sunday. Back into the 70s by early next week with those rain showers coming in by Wednesday. That's when temperatures could dip back into the mid 60s by the middle part of next week. So definitely enjoy the warm weather and the nice weather here this weekend. A little gusty on those winds on Friday, but that should get out of here for the weekend. And Mother's Day right now, Sunday, looking perfect for Mom. Temperatures in the low 80s here in St. George and lots of sunshine expected.
Definitely cooling down.
Yeah, but next week we do see that big cool down coming in and some rain chances too, which we could definitely use a little bit of rain around our area by early next week.
All right, thanks, Chris. We'll be back right after this. We are out of time, so thanks for watching.
Have a great night.